Hello, welcome everybody to a gold analysis stream. Gonna do some analysis breakdown on gold. Actually been a while since one of these, but gotta do it, right? It usually helps with trading. So first I'm gonna actually go to the quarterly chart. The quarterly is like a 3-month chart. And it shows a bigger picture of the price of gold, which is nice to see considering where we are and what's happening, etc. So let's look at it. We had that big run up, and that run up was from 2018 October all the way until November, second quarter last year, second, third quarter last year. So that's a pretty good 2-year run up, right? Now we are expecting a pullback, and that's exactly what's happening, as we can see here. It's back at this consolidation zone, and that zone I think is going to be key for how it acts. Because if we go down the lower time frame, we can see that it's at a pretty big support. On the weekly and on the daily, I'll show those in a bit. I do want to check one thing on the Fibonacci retracement. We're not even at the 50% mark yet, but we're at the 38.2, so that's interesting. So it still has potential to go lower. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to gauge it. Obviously, this is just like a holistic point of view. Gives like the bigger picture on the price. Now we go to the month. Month's pretty interesting. We had that bull run up, and right now it's creating this pullback for it. We can, once again, right on that October 18th mark, draw the Fibonacci, and yeah, we're at that 38.2 line. So still a while to go. I wonder how it was since COVID actually. So it hit the 61.8 right when COVID hit. So that's interesting. So even the run up for COVID, that's had a pretty nice pullback. We go to the weekly. This weekly's pretty interesting. Going pretty bullish. We had that big sell-off end of February, start of March. Now we had this little pullback. I am anticipating the 1760, maybe a little bit higher to get hit. I don't know if it does right away, but I'm also anticipating maybe another test of the lows. Eventually, maybe in March, maybe in April, get the double bottom going. Because like I said, we're at that big support level that we saw. This is pre-COVID, and then it hit that support again during June. Right when it hit that support during June, we had that run up. So I feel like we might get another test at that level, because we even saw it here. We got to test 1, 2, 3 times before the run up. So we might get it a couple times here before we ever run up. Or if it breaks down lower, we got a long way to like 1600, maybe even like 1500s. That's if it breaks lower. I do have a plan for next week that I think might happen. Really only a couple possibilities for it, and I'll explain those in a bit here. I'm pretty sure we're clean for news too. Let me pull that up on Forex Factory. Let me check that out. So we go to Monday to Friday. Apply the news. Yeah, I mean, just Powell messing shit up again. He speaks on Monday at 7 a.m. And then he speaks at 8 a.m. on Tuesday. And then Wednesday at 8 a.m. again. So whenever he talks, market's going to move. And then it's just like a bunch of minor news throughout the week. So it should be pretty clean. We go to the daily. I do like how it's going at the moment, right? So we had this big sell off, and now we got to pull back here. Oh, whoops. That was not the one I wanted. Here we go. So we had this big sell off. We have a pullback here. I do feel like we are going to end up going a little bit higher before selling off again. Or we're going to go lower and then go higher again. So those two are my only options. We're going to see how that rolls out. I won't have like before, I used to do a picture of it, have those ideas play out, see what levels we can get to, but I'll honestly probably just play the price action, whatever it gives me throughout the week. Let me go down to lower time frames, the 4 hourly. Yeah, the 4 hourly, we can see that it's at that level, that resistance area that we keep tapping into over here at the 1751 mark. I do think we're gonna retest just the way that this closed, retest that 1751 mark and potentially push up higher. 1755 seems like a good level. If it breaks through, we could get a bullish move to the 1770s, or if it bounces off, then we got a long way to go down to retest the lows again. I just want to check something though. Check if there's any level I could draw. Weekly, there's nothing. I mean, the weekly we got down on the weekly. Everything looks good there. On the daily, our daily resistance is at like 1745. But yeah, when we break it down to the hourly, doesn't really show much. That 1755 area though, I think I'm gonna add that. That looks like a pretty good area where price has been respecting. So I just want to add that in here. And obviously I'll keep adding levels as the week goes on. I usually give it like a dollar range for the price, just for the fact that, oh whoops, there we go, much better. Just for the fact that gives it like a zone. A zone is where the price could head, where there's a lot of orders, buy orders, order flows, etc., where the price could be respected and bounce off. So I think that 1755 level, that might be it, because we had that big bull run up, hit 1755, then sold off, and then went up again. So we're technically speaking, we're in a pretty big range. Considering how the week went with the bullish close on the weekly, bullish close on Wednesday, bullish close on Friday, I'm anticipating maybe a lower wick down before continuing upwards. Like last week's low was about 1720. So if it hits those 1720 area mark again, then we could create a support and push up, or the week could just start off and go bullish right away too. So those two are the things I'm going to be watching for gold. And what I like to look with gold, kind of look at the US 10-year, how that's been acting. And it's been on a bullish run, right? And gold's been trending pretty bearish, depending what this does. So if it continues to go up, I mean, on the monthly, we have this strong bullish momentum. On the weekly too, we have this strong bullish momentum on the 10-year. So on the 10-year, it's pretty bullish, which means gold typically goes down, the inverse of it. We'll see how it does intraday. We had that doji here. Maybe we could start with a sell-off before going up. That'll be very interesting to watch and gauge. And then we have the US dollar. I like to look at the US dollar as well, just for the fact that it gives a pretty good indication on how gold moves. Like if you go to the daily on both, we can see we had this nice little run up on the US dollar. That was pretty much coinciding with this little push down on gold, right? I mean, right here we have a consolidation on the US dollar, and gold's been going up slightly with the consolidation over the past little week and week and a little bit. So we'll see. What I want to look at is the higher time frames here, and I see it right away. We're in a range right now, so we're in this pretty big range on the monthly. If we go to the weekly, yeah, we can see that same thing. So the dollar does have room to go up. And if the dollar does end up bullish, then gold is obviously high probability it'll go down, right? Because you can see that the dollar ended up going very bearish when COVID hit, and the pandemic lockdown started, and that was the high point of gold at this area right there. Yeah, even the daily shows it could potentially go higher. But if it does start breaking lower, then we're going to be prepared. That means it's basically what's going to happen, what happened with COVID. Yeah, the big bear moved down. So if dollar does end up being bearish and does end up going down, then buy gold. Going to be interesting though. I feel like we're going to have a decent week, not the best. It's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of movement, a lot of fake outs probably. The big thing's going to be about taking profits. Like, I don't think we're going to have the clean move like we did in February where it just ended up crashing right away. But we might have like consolidation, move up, move down. So it's just about taking profits, maybe holding runner for a bigger position. I think that's going to be it for gold. What I'm expecting or anticipating to start off the week though is I think we're gonna retest that 1755 level. If we break 1760 is a good area to target. Really depends how it opens up. I preferably what I want to happen is it to open a little bit lower, kind of test the lows, create a support, and then push up like that. That is ideally what I want to see happen. Something cleaner than that look, but along those lines, if you know what I'm talking about. I think that's about it for gold. It's going to be an interesting week. We have different levels. It's kind of choppy at the moment. We do want clean movements. I mean, throughout last week was pretty choppy too. But I think we'll be in for a pretty good week this week. Other than that, I think that was a pretty good quick gold analysis. And hopefully it plays out. I'll catch everybody who tunes in tomorrow. Hopefully everyone has a good trading week too.